Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you can all hear me. We are live now, so it's coming a little bit behind schedule, but all the same, we are here. I want to introduce our guests, but before I do that, I want to appreciate us for being a part of this. I thought of organizing a training for women to help them manage their stress because I saw the level of stress that women were undergoing, and I felt that more women should be aware of their stress level. So I want to be sure that I'm being heard. So if you are hearing this, please, I want you to clearly put it in the comments that I can hear you so that I know that we are good to go. So let me see that in the comments. Let me see that in the comments. Let me see that in the comments. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can hear me, let me know. So let me know those that can hear me. Okay, so I think you can hear me. We are expecting other people to join. We are expecting other people to join us. So before they do, we'll go straight ahead to what we are here for. Of course, the title of the whole training is A Healthy Family, the Role of a Woman. And I appreciate the fact that there are some couples that are together listening to this and watching and learning together. That is the best thing you can do for your spouse, for both of you to be at par with what is happening. I was watching a movie this afternoon, and the movie was about how a man was maltreating a woman, and it was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. And I thought to myself, there are a lot of women that are going through this kind of torture, and they have no hope. They don't know where to go to. So why not just organize something for them that will help them manage the stress, keep the home healthy, and make sure that everything is good to go. So today I'll be introducing our guests. I will introduce our guests. Let me put her name on the let me put her on the screen so that you see the person I'm talking about. So Ebele Maureen Ajagba is a graduate of political science from Madonna University, Okija. She has a Master of Science in International Relations. Maureen is a certified management professional and a food safety professional. In fact, in 2011, she record of delivering sustainable markets. Maureen is well versed in customer strategy planning and human capital specialist, resulted in health problems, consumption, many diseases, in transition more of dick organ in Maureen able families. To Maureen is 19 to teach food to take us in the next 30 minutes to discuss health benefit of organic food. Maureen, you are welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Mr. Emmanuel Akbe introduced, my name is Maureen Ebele Ajaba. And it will be safe to say that I'm one person that have been through life and understand the holistic lifestyle. So I, for one, have been living a holistic lifestyle for over 8 years now. Now, the first question you ask is, why do I have to venture into holistic lifestyle? So if I'm to answer the question, the why, I will say starting Mebic Organic Integrated Limited, which is an organic food company. We process and package organic spices. Now, that is where my why have to resort to solution, because it's me providing solution to the pain point I have actually suffered and been through. Yeah, and holistic lifestyle is not about you eating today and not eating healthy today. It's a choice, it's a decision. And by that decision, it means that you must make a concise decision to be in this, to take it up to you to stay healthy for yourself, for your family, for your environment, for your society, and for you to be optimal in achieving your life purpose. And for you to do that, you can just start by doing it one day at a time. The first question is, when you talk about transitioning to organic lifestyle, healthy living, how do you go about that? Sometimes people make that decision as a result of, oh, you go to the hospital today, doctor find out, you have cholesterol, you're obese, you're having one problem or the other, there's a chronic disease found out, and you are being conditioned to go ahead and stop eating some certain foods. And that may be the breaking point for you to venture into a healthy lifestyle, a holistic lifestyle, or to start going organic. But some people, is as a result of the environmental issues going on, the weather issues, some people going through the phases of having a lot of issues with their health. But at the end of the day, it boils down to one thing: we all want a better value. So it can be safe for us to say that we want a better value, and that could be the reason we want to change our lifestyle, want to live healthy, we want to eat healthy. So the better value can transition to you, okay, moving into a healthy lifestyle, or you trying to eat because you had the information on the internet, you had the trending information about organic. But the question is, do we know what organic is? We see a whole lot of food labels talking about organic. We go to the supermarket, we see some, organic. It becomes a trend. Are we moving with the trend that is organic? How organic are they? How healthy are they? Is it by the term organic that define that they are healthy? Because that has always been the confusion. When you Google organic food, you can see some contradictory informations out there that organic is not good, organic is good. When they compare it to inorganic food, they say, oh, but at the end of the day, there is a but. May or may not. There's a scientific research that said it may or it may not. How true is this information? These are the other questions that come in. So personally, for me, I studied political science, mastered international relations, but along the line, I've always been a lover of food. It's safe to call me foodie. So being a lover of food, I've always loved cooking, I've always loved eating, but having been one that had some issues like health challenges that called my attention to some certain facets of my life and the way I eat and the food I eat, having been one who have been in the custody of Ayurvedic doctors, having been one who has been exposed with some certain ailments that as a child that required my attention to be careful of how I allow myself to gain weight, of how I allow my immune system to be weak or strong. So that called my attention to making sure that it's not just about living healthy, it's about consistently living it, eating it, making it a choice, everyday choice, day by day choice. So at the end of the day, I ventured into the production, but there was a breaking point. I know the benefits of healthy living. I know the impact of unhealthy living, but we love to sweet sweets. Sometimes we find ourselves eating Oh, because it's snacks. I cannot do without craving for snacks. I can't do without soda, the Fanta, the Coke. How can I live my life without Fanta? How can I live my life without Coke? Is it even possible that someone can stay without drinking Fanta and Coke? Then what are the healthy substitutes to the Fanta and Coke? You know, but at the end of the day, we introduce ourselves to a whole lot of issues like ulcer, issues like obesity. And it may be so wonderful for us to understand that the world statistics have find out that there are a whole lot of women, about more than 18.9% of women suffer obesity. Even children, stuntness in age, in growth, is as a result of unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy feeding. You see most parents feeding their children a lot of food with unhealthy additives, and then you expect your child to grow optimally in good health, in good condition. Do we ask ourselves why we have some issues in children, growth issues in children, brain issues in children, issues of speech delay? Some call it some call it, with some of us call it speech delay, while some call it I think there are some other names we know it with. You get? But at the end of the day, it boils down to how we manage our home, how we feed ourselves, first as a woman, secondly as a wife, thirdly as a mother. The food we introduce to our family. You will see a lot of people don't even include vegetables in their diet. You see a lot of families, especially we women, breakfast, lunch, dinner, there is always boo-boo. There is always one drink, addictive drink to eat. There is always sweet. There's always sugar and all that added to the food we eat. Aside the normal sugar, fructose, sucrose we get from all our natural made food like the rice, the beans, the yam and all that. Now, is it right for us to be living that kind of lifestyle? The answer is no. It's not safe. It's not right. We are not breeding a healthy nation. You understand? The almighty hypocrites say, make food thy medicine and let their medicine be food. There's a reason he said that. That's a great philosopher making it known. And you can talk about organic food, organic spices. By organic, we mean food that are grown organically. When the word organic does not mean, oh, you go to the store, you see it as a label, and it says that shows us that it's organic. No. A food can be labeled organic, and there are every reason why it is not organic. There are a whole lot of inorganic materials in that food. Industries, companies can go with the trend of organic and put in organic in the label because they want to sell. In fact, one of the miracles of marketing now is to use the terms that people are inclining to, what is trending in the global market, and organic is one of those trending terms in the global market. So people are like more warm towards that terminology, organic, and everybody can go to the label to write organic. How do we verify how organic it is? One, for a food to be organic, it means the process of growing that food till it gets to the table, your pot, must be organic without any form of chemical. And someone will ask, if that happens, what happened to how long can a food stay, especially the store-bought food? How much can we get healthy food? Does it mean that all this food they write there organic we see in the shelf are not safe for us to eat? Majority of them are not, because most of them, the term most, are unconventional foods. Most of them are ultra processed foods. In Nigeria, for once, we have not gotten to know how to differentiate the organic and inorganic in the store. That's because we have few organic labeled products and well-verified organic labeled products in the store. Most stores don't even tend to separate the labels because they have not actually verified, and the authorities have not given that room for us to verify this process of organic. And this is one of the reasons maybe organic is trying to make a difference in the market. And for us to say that a food is organic, the first process is from farm to plate. The whole supply chain of that product must be free of chemical, free of addictive, free of any form of antibiotics, free of any form of MSG, monosodium glutamate, any form of free radicals. It means from the farmer that grow that product down to the supply chain where it is processed, packaged, stored, and even delivered to the supermarket and down to your pocket, to your plates. Every process must be clean. Best practice must be applied. The seed, and it starts with the product, the variant of the product being the produce being produced. The seed. We have heard of a whole lot of GMO foods out there, genetic modified foods. These are lab formulated seeds, foods that have been genetically modified just to make sure that the reason most times for this genetic modification is to make sure that there's a wider yield. Yes, we are talking about solving issues of zero hunger. You've heard the SDG goals. One of the major SDG goals is to solve zero hunger, to make sure there's food security. They said the world is heading towards insecure food production, and the fact that there is scarcity and shortage of food and the population keep increasing. Now, the question is, how sustainable can we make our food be? How available can we make that food be? And as a result of the fact that most people want food to eat and be happy, to get fueled, we forget that making food sustainable is also talking about the nutritional availability of those food. Can the food be nutritious enough to serve the purpose of that food, which is giving you your basic daily nutrients? And the funny thing is that we don't get to ask this question often. We go to the stores, we buy what we feel like buying, and we want to eat, and we are fueled. So far, our stomach is fueled. But then there is a trend. The world is changing. The world is getting closer to what? To healthy lifestyle. Especially, you can see what happened during the COVID-19. A lot of people now remember that in their backyard, there is dogoyaro, there is moringa leaf, and there is any form of herbs that they can brew and then drink, steep as tea, just because the world is afraid of COVID-19. But that's the realities that set into us, that asks us to go back to nature, to go back to the roots. Africa, for one, has been the major continent known with herbs. Most of the spices we eat originated from Egypt. If you read the history of spice production and spice trading, you can find out that Egypt was one of the ancient cities that has always traded in herbs. We know today of what? Of India as the world's best producers of herbs. What happens to Africa? Africa is nowhere to be seen in the map of spice producers, especially the organic one. Rather, we became a dumping ground for these people to dump a whole lot of synthetic products, especially spices. And knowing that fully well, we cannot deal without eating spices in our home on a daily basis. In fact, food without spices, most of us will not even go with it, because it has become the major ingredient in enhancing flavor. It has become the major ingredient in making sure that we have a beautiful taste in our food that suits our palate. But the major question now is, how can we make sure that we feed our family healthy, especially when it comes to the use of free, no chemical based herbs and spices? You've heard of MSG. I don't know how many of us can eat without Maggi today. But when you tell people about the implications of daily consumption of Maggi, we know it with the name Maggi, seasoning, Ajinomoto, and the rest of them. These ingredients are full of additives. Monosodium glutamate being one of it, which is made, the monosodium glutamate is made with sodium and glutamic acid. The two major ingredients in your Maggi are sodium and glutamic acid. And what does this sodium mean? This sodium is not just your basic sodium you get from your basic salt, not your table salt. We are talking about industrialized salts. Salt does not even have the basic ingredient that your normal sodium should give you, which is iodine. And then you're talking about glutamic acid, which major purpose is sugar, binders, oil. You can talk about hydrolyzed protein inside it. You can talk about the basics, what do we call it, preservative, your E16, your E24. You can talk about a lot of saturated fat in it. At the end of the day, people make the argument that no, our mothers have been using it, have they died, what happened to them and all that. But before our mothers started using it, our great-grandmothers did not know what is called Maggi. We can all attest to that, even before the Civil Wars, even before the white man came. There was nothing, most of them don't know what is Maggi, and their food came out well. Now you find out that it has become a major challenge because Africans have been conditioned. The big industries have conditioned our taste bud because they want us to do what? To be addicted to this food. So they use food. Food additives makes you so addicted to a particular ingredient that without it cannot do. Look at Coca-Cola. Once you get addicted to Coca-Cola, it becomes a problem to drop it. I can attest to it because I know I was addicted to Coca-Cola for over 5 years during my university days. That even one bottle of, like as we are eating breakfast, Coca-Cola must be there to wash it down. You're eating dinner, lunch, everything, Coca-Cola must be there to wash it down. But at the end of the day, what happened? A high level of acid reflux, inflammation, indigestion. The caffeine in it alone will not even let you sleep right. Therefore, upsetting your own immune system that you begin to get worried and get sick. I think that was one of the major reasons I fell ill and became an ulcer patient for over 3 to 4 years, which was a very, very, very drastic one. So at the end of the day, what should we do and how conscious can we be about living healthy? Just like I was explaining before, by organic, it means that our food has to be free of all these radicals, of all these additives. It starts from the processing. It starts from the farmer. How right do they plant? It starts from the manufacturer. How right do they process without adding any form of additives? It starts with the people that package, people that store. How safe do they store it to make sure that all bacteria, microorganisms does not enter? They are free of radicals that can affect us, especially when it comes to safe handling of foods we eat. And it boils down to when we get the food, how safe do we use it in our house? Safe handling of food. While preparing it and after preparing it, safe storage of our food after preparation, during preparation, safe storage of our raw materials in the kitchen. Some of us today, as I'm speaking, I'm sure some of us will be looking at ourselves and say, yeah, this is true. Okay, you buy a spice, for instance, you open the spice, you want to dish the spice, you pour the spice directly in your pot. We don't even get to know that you have to scoop with a dry spoon and cover it in an airtight place, keep it away from heat, direct heat, and sunlight. Even some of us, when you buy your spice and you find out that the spice there is already a mold on the spice, congealed, you shake it, break it down, and bring it out and still use it. That is your spice telling you, oh, please, it is time to throw me away. And you can easily find that in spices that are filled with additives, because the major ingredients, which should be the raw ingredients, which are spices, are less than 5% in your so-called spices you buy in the store, the inorganic spices, because there are other chemicals that have been added, and that is why they have to add it so that it will be cheaper for you to afford and buy. In fact, as a matter of fact, our daily consumption of sodium salt is stated to be not less than 25 grams. But imagine 1 cube of your Maggi containing about 1,000 grams of salt on dailies. And you add that in your food, you still go ahead to add that an additional salt in your food, aside the glutamic acid in it too, the binders, the E16, the colors, the flavors. And you can see that those things are not safe. They are not safe for us. So what do you have to do? When I hear people say, I don't eat spices, I rather use my crayfish. That is because most people have generalized the term spices as your Mivina, your kitchen glory. No, those are not your spices. Those are your seasoning powders. Spices are raw ingredients that are from nature. They can come in the form of roots and raisins. They can come as a peel of a flower. They can come as a leaf and as a whole plant, the seed, or in pots. They can come as a part of a seed or a part of a fruit. You can talk of your peppercorn, which is your black pepper. You can talk of cardamom. You can talk of cinnamon. Cinnamon is a bark of a shrub, a tree, a short tree that is flavorful. And these are pure raw spices that when you use them in their natural form, or all these natural spices in their mixed blends, you get your daily nutrients out of it. You get your phytochemicals out of it. You get maximum nutrients out of it. You get your basic minerals out of it. And you get your sodium out of it. And some of these spices and seeds and herbs and barks and raisins are in different forms. We have the bitter ones, we have the sweet ones, we have the savory ones, we have the ones that are hot, you have the ones that are not bitter, not just earthy. Now, in your usage of these herbs and spices, you must understand the fundamentals, which are how the blends work. Most especially, it works better when based on individual palates, our taste bud, the recipes we are making, the type of food we want to do, your individual preferences. But there are general or more specific formulations that give you the best variant to serve your nutritional needs. Now, as someone who has been in food safety for over 4 years, certified food safety professional, I can tell you that when you start using natural herbs and spices, your immune system will do one thing for you. It will recondition your taste bud. By that reconditioning of your taste bud, what it does that anytime you get used to eating the natural spices or taking away your Maggi from your food, and you go back to eat the Maggi again, two things are likely to happen. You're likely to vomit out because your taste bud will instantly tell you, your immune will revolt against that. There is an artificial body in your system. That aside, each time you go outside to eat, you find that you will not like eating outside like the way you do before. That is because your taste bud has been reconditioned. In the sense, the essence of seasoning powder initially was to help the slaves during the slave trade to get their basic nutrients by making sure they add, because then they couldn't get meat, they couldn't get fish, they couldn't get their basic protein. So all these things were added, the stock and the raw ingredients, the raw herbs were added so that as they eat, they can get their basic nutrients. That was the initiation, like the need, the solution they wanted to provide for the average person in the market. But obviously, as market growth, profit and demand are the drivers of the market, and that can determine what basic or the industrial leaders do. It's all about profit and loss. And with the adventure of chemicals, industrial chemicals that can substitute some of these things and give higher profits and reduce the cost of production, alternative has to be found. And that has taken away the major initiation, like the major idea, the reason behind the invention of seasoning powders. And it has ended up to become something, what we call the term a killer. You go to the hospital, you tell a doctor you have ulcer, you are hypertensive. The next thing they tell you is to stop eating spices. I don't know how many people have heard that before. I, for one, I have heard that before. They give you the list of food you shouldn't eat, and out of the list of those food you shouldn't eat, you find that there are a whole lot of inorganic foods listed in it. These are the ultra processed food. Morning, afternoon, at night, we eat rice, we eat spaghetti, we eat snacks, we eat a lot of inorganic foods. You take your mineral, it has additives. You take your snacks, it has additives, no matter how much nutrition there has, as in healthy ingredients that is in it. Your flour base, your refined flours have additives in them. Yes, some of them are fortified according to the industries with vitamin A and the rest of that. You may not be able to dispute that, but how healthy are they, especially when we consume it constantly? Some people say, yes, we can eat Maggi, but eat it small. Now, eating it small is not a problem, but you eat it daily, 3 times a day. You make your food, you eat more than 3 times a day. And now the major challenge is this: when you eat it, your body you get a headache all the time. There are allergies attached to it, body pains, you're having a lot of body reactions like the headaches. Excess eating of monosodium has been attached to issues of brain damage. And then we said that, oh, you can just eat it but reduce the quantity. We have to be very honest with ourselves. It's not just about reducing the quantity. It's about making the decision not to even eat what can bring you disease. We have to go into the preventive method rather than the curative method, which is what Africans are used to. One of those preventive methods is simply this: staying healthy, eating right, making sure your food is your medicine and your medicine is your food, living healthy and eating the right diets, staying away from stress. Stress is one of the killers. And while you're staying away from stress, the best way is to also make sure you eat food that can help you manage that stress and even make your body have the right atmosphere to manage stress and not let the stress happen. And that is your immune system. The only thing that can help you in managing stress is your immune system. And the only way you can fortify your immune system is by eating right, eating plant-based foods. We can consume rice, carbohydrates, high proteins 3 times or 4 times a day. How much of vegetables have we included in our foods? How much of herbs have we taken? How much of pure organic spices did you add in your food? Now, when you add spices, you have to also understand that the eating of spice is not talking about eating it in excess. It's eating the right proportion, knowing the right spices to eat at a given time, knowing the right blend to take as your tea. You can come home stressed, tired. You can steep your herbs in your kitchen. Just go to your cabinet, get your ginger, get your turmeric, and steep it as tea and take. Once you've taken it out, what have you done? This turmeric, the curcumin in the turmeric will help you relax your nerves, relieve you of any body pain, clear up your immune system, like your throat, in case of any accumulated dust from the air. The ginger will relax you, suit you very well. And not just about that, you can have basic things you have in your kitchen. You can talk about your peppercorns. You can talk about your turmeric. You can talk about your garlic. So many people say, I don't eat garlic because it's too acidic. No, it's because you've not eaten it right and you've not eaten it with the right combination of herbs and spices. You can combine your garlic with ginger. You can combine your garlic with cinnamon. You can combine your garlic with what's it called, anise seed. If you don't like the aroma, if you feel that too acidic for you, and when you do that, they break down the acidic level, and you can then add them in the food. Now, your onions is your one superfood that you don't even know that can help you fight infection. And so many of us, yes, we eat onions in the raw, but most times we avoid it because some of us don't like the taste. Some of us, I don't like seeing onions in my food. That's one of the things I hear often. Now, you can talk about how do you now feed your family with these herbs and spices. I remember hearing a friend say, my husband does not like eating spices. My children, if we add spices in their food, they will not eat it. They don't like spicy food. Yes, that's a known fact. So people don't like spicy food. But do that make you know to add the right ingredient, the right spices in the food? I say yes, because you classify spices as the seasoning you see in the market. When you talk about spices, your husband may feel like, oh, I'm eating mivina, and that may be because whenever they eat it, it upsets their stomach, it upsets their immune system. Some people purge. Some people start having inflammation. Some people start having indigestion because those are not spices. Those are inorganic elements. But when you use the real organic herbs, organic spices, there are things you can do rather than the spices fighting like the spices not being okay for your family. They will help their immune system. They will aid their digestion. They will help control any form of ulcer or even prevent it. They will help fight against any infection in your body. There are a list of spices which I will be sending as a slide to Mr. Emmanuel after this. Within the week, he will show you so you can see a breakdown on how you can use these herbs, the herbs you can use when you feel cold. Like instantly, for instance, you're feeling cold, you have a flu, you can get your water, your lemon, your ginger, your honey, your turmeric, your black pepper, mix it together, take it down, your clove. Your clove can help you fight a whole lot of infection because these are antifungi. So at the end of the day, you find out that organic foods are like your best help to manage your health, to manage stress, to feed your family right. Not just about feeding your family right, making sure you prevent sickness and you prevent any form of ill health. Than every month you're going to the hospital, you have a register in the hospital that every month you must answer present to the doctor. And each time the doctor keep asking, what are you doing here? And some people tell you, yeah, every day my child is suffering from flu. They go to school, I ask them, no, why? You can actually prevent this. How often do you feed your child right? You say, hey, she goes to school with bobo in the morning. She drinks it, she takes her yogurt, she do the, no, you don't have to do that. There are healthy alternatives. What happens to making your natural remedies at home? We are not saying don't go to doctors. We are not saying don't consult your healthcare systems. No, we are saying that you can prevent. As a mother, your responsibility, or as a wife, like as if first of all, as a lady, whether you're single, you're married, your first responsibility to yourself is to make sure you eat right, because your body has a whole lot to carry on. Through the journey of pregnancy to childbirth, you still have to stay right. In the afterwards, giving birth, nurturing the child from infancy to adulthood, you still have to feed the person right. Your husband have to go to work and eat and stay safe. You have to nurture him also. Most of us, to shock you, we let the husband eat outside in the morning, eat outside in the afternoon, eat outside in the night, and you expect the young man to live optimal. When you know there are a whole lot of addictive out there in the restaurant. What happens to us is making sure, we are busy. Yes, we can dispute that fact that everybody is busy, but you can program your home in such a way that you can prepare these things. That's why when you're going out there to look for ingredients to use, you look for ingredients that are right for you. What about parsley? Some of us don't know what is called parsley. Some of us don't know what is called ashwagandha. Some of us don't know what is called a lot. I can name a list of 101 million spices and herbs you can use. But to make it easier, we are busy. We want convenience, which is one of the reasons these industries are giving us convenient food, packaged unhealthy convenient food. And as a result of that, it becomes a huge challenge for us. You get? So what do we now have to do to stay healthy and to feed healthy? I can give you my little secret. What I do is this: in a week, I make sure I prepare. Yes, I'm single, I live alone. I can say yes. Some people can say it's easy for you, but no. I do have a family I go to, my family, my parents, elderly parents. How do I even manage their health? How do I even manage my own health? As someone who has been told several times to stay away from unhealthy foods after an accident and all that. So what do I have to do? It has become a lifestyle because I was told, not just about because I love eating food. I don't have that choice. But some of us have a choice to start early, not to let when you doctor bombard you with the fact that you have cancer, you have ulcer, you have this. No, the best secret is this: is all about planning. We hear of planning your diet. We hear of planning your food. We hear about sourcing your food from the right place. There are farmers, thank God for Nigeria and Africa now that farmers are coming online to sell their produce. There are farmers that do organic farming, yes, in Nigeria. There are places you can get healthy organic food. How do we even identify them if they are organic? For instance, when you get your spice, the first thing, a healthy organic spice will not have an addictive, especially of sugar. Most people have been replacing the so-called E16 and E whatever and the additives with sugar, raw sugar, factory sugar, and they will tell you it is organic. Sorry, it is not organic. What is sugar doing in your spices? There are herbs that are naturally sweet. I can count majority of them. Cinnamon has a sweet taste, and cinnamon is one of the major ingredients doctor will tell you to take to fight diabetes, type 2 diabetes. That aside, cinnamon has a whole lot of benefits. There is a phytochemical in cinnamon that can help you. Is it your pepper, chili pepper? So many people say chili pepper has no health benefit. I smile. Your Kayani chili pepper has a whole lot of benefits in it. Your vitamin A, your vitamin C, your vitamin K, your vitamin D3, they are all benefit from your chili pepper. And then you can talk of your oregano. Let's break it down to our native spices. If something I don't know this spice, no problem. We can go down to our native spices. Some of us know them as our pepper soup spices. No, they don't just serve as only pepper soup spices. You can talk of your pepper pepperine and all that. You can steep them as tea. You can chew them, the one we call urosoji in Igbo language. These ones can fight and help you fight flus. There are a whole lot of them you can take. You can take ingredients like how do I even which one? You can talk apple seed that has a lot of amino acid in there. And the beautiful thing about organic spices is that they have essential oil that helps your skin to radiate. You can talk about your almond. You can talk about what's it called, the mustard seed. So many people don't know that mustard seed is a spice. We only hear of mustard seed as something that can help you protect you against poison. No, my dear, you can actually eat it, make food with them. We don't even know that apple seed, the one we call jasanga, has a high rate of essential oil. These oil are very, very important for your immune system. We have a whole lot that as a result of time, I may not have a time to list them, but I'm going to be listing all of them in the slide that I'll be sending to Mr. Emmanuel. But the basic importance is this. As a family, it will be very essential for us to start adding organic foods, organic spices, most especially herbs and vegetables. For every food you eat, the basic is balance, nutritional balance. Your carbohydrates should not be higher. Your protein should not be in excess. Your lack of it or more of it should not be the situation. We are talking about balance. Having them in the right proportion, knowing when and how to eat them right. Making sure that your children, which are your major priority in their development, in their mental development, in their physical development, eat right. You can make sure that even as your children may not eat vegetables and all that, you can make sure you add dry herbs to their food on dailies. You can get your dry parsley. You can get a dry powdered carrot. Add it in their food on daily. So far they've reached the age of 6 months, you can use those things in their food, in their pap. You can get your dry powdered peas. Add it in their food. You can make a natural herbal drinks for them. Let them take it to school. Even you can make it a very morning. Like me personally, every morning I take my tea, my herbal teas. Why am I taking the herbal teas? Because I know Milo and all of it is in the market. But let me tell you that most of these things don't have more of sugar than the cocoa. Cocoa is one of a very important spice in the spice world. Most of us don't even know that cocoa is a spice. We just see it as a flavoring for drinks. No, cocoa is a spice that when you brew, you can use it either in cooking. You can also use it either in your drinks. You can mix your cocoa with some of your herbs and use it in your baking. Some of us have sweet tooth, no problem. You can still take your snacks and make them more healthy. Make your snacks using raw ingredients. You can use a homemade flour made from almond nuts. You can add a little of your normal flour, no problem. You can add them, but make sure they are of minimal quantity. Or most especially if you want to use your raw flour, why not use your raw cassava? Cassava in its raw has more nutritional value than the refined flour we use, and that would have been sold to us in the market that they have the term vitamin A fortifier and all that. Why not use the raw cassava flour in its raw to get the vitamins? The vitamin A you're looking in refined flour and cassava flour is more in it. The vitamin A you're looking in over-processed corn flour is even more in your raw corn. Now, are we saying you shouldn't buy processed raw food? No. What we are saying is, for you to buy them, you must be able to know if they are purely organic. It's quite unfortunate that we're in the part of the world that we don't have like a legal system where you can certify and verify if this ingredient is purely organic. Now that is there, yes, no problem. But how true is some of these organic ingredients are? Now, this is where issue of transparency come in. We are, for Mebic Organic, we are personally hoping and praying that transparency should be one of the major integrity that organization in this part of the world carries. And not only that, institutions should be able to enforce law that will make more organizations transparent with their production processes, especially in labeling. For instance, when we talk about making organic spices, I, for one, we make sure one of the reasons we venture into organic, yes, I say it's from my pain point, but we find out that the world is moving towards that direction of better value, of healthy options, of making sure that people stay healthy. And seeing that pain point, we are there to provide that solution. By providing that solution, we said, okay, you know what? We can do this. I can do this. I have been in this healthy living lifestyle for over 8 years. And I can attest that I've never had any negative effect that living healthy or eating organic has done me bad. No, rather the benefit is high because the vitamin I eat on daily prevents me from going to the hospitals on daily. Sometimes when I go to run my test, my doctor will ask, what are you doing here? I said, no, it's just to do my routine daily checkup. He said, okay, if you have done it, you're good, fine, go. And having introduced that to my family, like I remember my other brother saying one time that he went to the hospital, the doctor said your immune system is like that of a child. And I was happy because they have understood that and they have introduced it down to their children. That is the benefit of living healthy. You save more. You save more when you're living a healthy lifestyle. You don't spend more. Rather, you spend more in eating healthy. Yes, people say organic food are expensive. Yes, they have to be expensive because the truth is this. The production of organic food right from farming is not cheap. When I mean farming, you don't use fertilizer, chemical-based fertilizer. Rather, you use organic fertilizers. You don't use pesticide. And when you're talking about making sure you produce healthy, it means nitrogen, all this nitric acid and nitrogen, whatever, are not in these ingredients, in these raw materials. Because that's the essence of best practice in farming. Because you want to avoid any form of negative effect on the food. And mind you, when we say that unhealthy food, we are not talking about just about the farming. Sometimes when a food is being processed and made healthy, when they go into the processing plant, a lot of things have been added. That's why, for instance, we tell you, please stop feeding your family sausage. And people have contested, no, sausage is there. I said, please stop. Why? The sodium in sausage, the binders, the chemicals, the preservative in sausage is not good. Even if the animal is plant-fed, and when it gets to the processing plant, all these things are added, my dear, it is not okay. It's not even advisable. Rather, you can make your own sausage with what? With a simple mice meat you can get. Remember, some of these animals are being injected with antibiotics. And animals being injected with antibiotics are not helping your immune system. And remember that also we talk about how negative the impact of antibiotics is in human body, talk more of animal body. Antibiotics weaken your immune system. They don't help you recover. They help you control the symptoms at the immediate point, but they don't help you recover. What they do is they condition your body to always come back for it, not to heal. That is the problem and the politics of big pharmaceutical firms. But when you go back to nature and you eat right, you are making sure that your body, your immune, your system, everything is always ready to communicate right to you whenever changes happen. That is the secret of healthy living. When you start eating healthy and anything happens to your immune, your body will show you that through your skin, through your nails, through your teeth, through your eyes. There will be a communication coming out from your body. Now, it becomes important how much you pay attention to your body language to know exactly what goes on in your body. Some of us say, I'm having skin tag, I'm having this. No, it's not your skin, outer skin talking. It is your inner skin talking to you about what is going on in your inner body system. But we will not know. We go out there and buy all manner of cream to treat the outer, but we don't know that the major focus should be the inner body. So why I'm giving this information is because for you to live healthy and control what goes in the outer, you have to first of all look at inward. And the inward is about the right food you eat, the organic food you eat. The benefits of eating organic food cannot be overemphasized. Simply, the benefits of eating organic food can simply help you more. Helping you in the sense that you will be able to even prevent. The spices I'm talking about, if you notice, I've not even mentioned a whole lot of spices, because if I start now to mention a whole lot of spices, you may not even, we won't even go here today. So, but rather, when I give the slide, you will see them and how you can use them. You understand? You will see them and how you can use them. And if you have further question on how you can go about using them, you can call on us. We can easily get it. But the objective is to make emphasis on why you should go for this, which is what most of us sometimes don't even understand the why. I started with why. Until we address the why, anybody can be telling you organic, you see, oh, they are marketing their products. No, it's when we understand the why, we know the reason why it is important to go back to the nature and eat right. I call it eating right. Each day I eat my food, the first thing I ask myself, how many rainbows are in this plate of food? The rainbows classified tell you about your food classification. Your green represent this, your red. I know some of us, even our children, if you go our children in the nursery now, they chant it to them. You eat your food as your rainbow, red, yellow, black. Yeah, ask them and you will hear them. And some of them have been to some school where we advocate and talk about healthy living. And once you tell you, red is for this, it gives you vitamin A. This gives you. They begin to identify their food color with the vitamins and nutrients their body requires. Carotenoid. You talk about the benefits you get from vitamin A. There are a whole lot. Your spices, some of your spices give you eugenol, which is a vital ingredient. Capsaicin.
Yeah, Ebi, thank you very much. I think if we allow you, you are going to go on and on and on and on. Well, thank you very much. You have said it all. And thank you for giving us your slides. And I know that that's going to be very beneficial to us.
Yes.
We're going to, at least it contains a list of all the seasonings,
spices and their uses.
spices and all that we can get. And I want to say this, I've known Ebi for a long time, more than 12 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, more than 12 years I've known her. And when
Yes,
she went into
12
organic spices, she told me, and I encouraged it. I also introduced my wife to it, and right now my wife is a
A
major
major distributor.
of those
And the
spices.
feedback has been so crazy.
Yes, and not only that, the way she cooks have changed sincerely. The spices that she uses and all that, everything has become organic, and it has also affected our health positively. So thank you very much for this.
Thank
I will
you.
beg you to still stay behind in case there are people that have questions so that you can attend to them in the
Yes, we can
group.
entertain questions, please.
Yes. And within the week, we're going to send the slide to everybody. Everybody
Yes.
will send it to you on WhatsApp. So you just download, go through it. If you have any question, I would link you up with AB so it's easy for you to contact her. So I would really appreciate her for this opportunity. If you have your questions, please drop it in the comments. She's going to attend to all the questions. If you have your questions, please drop it in the comments. She's going
Yeah,
to
you
attend
can drop
to.
your questions.
Because of time constraints, we're going to the next training, the next topic. And we're, at the end of the day, we're going to take questions. Remember, today we are dealing with organic spices, also dealing with healthy food options. So thank you very much, AB. I appreciate you. Thank you for the in-depth training. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the slide you are going to drop for the benefit of those that are here. It also help to expound our knowledge. Most of us think that it's only Maggi and no that is the seasoning we have. We don't know that there are other things. In fact, when you watch their advert, they tell you that they included some of these things, but we know that it's not true. That it's just a combination of chemicals and all that. So thank you very much. I want to call on the next guest and see you on the other side. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Obi.
you.
Thank you. All right, take care. So, guys, we have Dr. Marvelous waiting to take over from where AB stopped. I want to read a little bit of her profile so that we'll know who she is and what she has achieved. So, the training is loaded. The training is loaded, heavily loaded. I said that I will make sure that if you are here, you have value for your money. Your money will not just go like that. You have value for your money. So today, it's all women affair. We have a Billy that just concluded, and Dr. Marvelous is also here. So let me bring her on board while I read her profile. So Dr. Marvelous is a medical doctor, an international board certified lifestyle medicine physician. She's a member of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, ACLM, and the Society of Lifestyle Medicine of Nigeria. She is the founder stroke CEO of Dietal Health Labs, an innovative medical platform on a mission to reduce the burden of chronic disease and their consequences among the Africa population through a multi-pronged approach focusing on the most important factors: nutrition. She is also committed to helping individuals live wholesome and healthy lives by teaching and guiding them on the health journeys using her various platforms. So thank you very much, Dr. Marvelous, for joining us.
Thank
If
you
you
so much.
Yes, if
Can
you
you hear me?
know, yes, perfectly well, can hear you. If you know if you've been following my career for a long time, you know that Dr. Marvelous is my right hand woman when it comes to anything that has to do with health, talk, lifestyle, and all that. She's the person we call on. So today she'll be teaching us healthy diets, and I tried as much as possible. In fact, when I talked about doing this training, she was part of. She gave me an idea that don't make this more like a gender thing. So because it easily trigger a lot of people, and indeed it did trigger a lot of people when I said we're going to do training for women. Some people were asking me this afternoon that what of men? Are men not included in this training? Some men are stubborn. In fact, one particular lady said it is the men that are giving them stress. So why are they not in the training? Well, I felt that I explained to them that we're going to have a training for men, but for now, let's do a training that will help women live a better life and also live long. You see a lot of women looking older than their husbands. That means there's a problem. So if women are not taught how to manage their stress, what to do to even help themselves, it will be more like throwing the water on the back of the stone. So thank you, Dr. Marvelous. You have the floor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. I'm very happy to be here. When you told me about this class, like you said, you and I had some back and forth about it. I believe it's something that is important, but at the same time, the messaging had to be very clear, so that we don't trigger people, because that can make us not to achieve the aim, which is to help families live healthier. And I'm really happy with the way you even though you're a man, the way you brought women together and the way you've handled it. Thank you so much. Kudos to you, sir. Good evening to everyone here. I hope I do not look as tired as I feel. I hope my eyes are still white, because honestly, inside my heart, my eyes are red. I've had a very long day. We had a medical outreach in church today, so it's been a very long day. But I am extremely happy that we're doing this today, honestly. And I know we don't have a lot of time. We've kept you here longer than you expected, but I'm also I also know that you're going to get so much value from this that the time we wasted, would not be so bad. I hope so. I hope you forgive us, and you accept us as we bring this to you. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my camera. I don't know why I'm not. All right, I think it's better now. All right, so woman to woman, right? We are here. Let's talk about our homes and how we can help. So, from my profile, you heard that my mission is to help reduce chronic disease in Africa. And to be honest, I take it very seriously because we live in a time and an age where chronic disease is off the charts. Like, it's rapidly rising. I can't explain it. I don't know how, I don't know which word to use. But what is going on right now? Today we had an outreach, and in that outreach, I saw people in their 20s with severe high blood pressure, young people, very young people. And I mean, this is not the first time, but it's just the most recent is today, and it's crazy, right? And Miss Ebere that spoke earlier, she really talked a lot about how we need to go back to being natural, how we've neglected our roots. And I must tell you that I agree with her. The major reason we are having the problem we're having now in the world, not just Africa, in the world, is because of the kind of food we are eating. It's called the Western diet. The Western diet, our sausages, our noodles, hey, our bread, our spaghetti, all those things. They are convenient, as she mentioned. However, they are robbing us of our health because we are living where we used to be and we are going into where we should not be. We are imitating people who, at the moment, have almost like one third of their population diabetic, and they were trying to imitate them and eat like them when we know we do not have the resources to handle illnesses like them. So at this moment, Africa needs to wake up. Africa needs to go back to their roots. Africa needs to know that prevention for us is better than cure. Leave the Western people, let them carry that problem. Prevention is better than cure. And I'm saying this because we do not have the healthcare system to handle what is coming. We don't even have it to handle what is already on ground. So we don't have healthcare system to handle what is coming. And this is serious. I'm not saying don't eat rice. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that balance is key, right? So I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So I'll do a little bit of introduction, which I've already started now, and I'll talk about. So I have my notes here, so I don't forget anything. Limited time we have. I'll talk about a little bit of introduction. Talk about why the family, right? So this is just course content. Why the family? Why are we talking about family? Number 3, what is the role of a woman in all of this? And then after that, I will now go on talk about what are the guidelines, medical guidelines guiding our homes. How should we eat? How should we exercise? And then what are recommendations that I'll be giving you to help you. So we're talking about diet and we're talking about exercise tonight. So let's start. When it comes to healthy living, right, it has become, it's not a nice to have now, it's a must have, or let's say must do. We are not living in the age of our parents. And our parents, things were just starting out. Diabetes was still starting out. Hypertension was just starting out. But we're living in a world right now where children have diabetes. I don't know if any of you know that children have diabetes at the moment. We have children dealing with obesity. Obesity does not understand age. If you're obese, no matter your age, you are at risk of disease. We have children dealing with cancer. We have children dealing with hypertension. Disease that used to be this of elderly people, they're not affecting our children. So at this point, I think we agree with me that it is now an emergency. We need to do something about this because God forbid is not prayer. God forbid is not preventive measure. It will not happen to me means nothing. I was telling someone today, I said, look, don't ever believe that it will not happen to you just because you believe it. I mean, no, everybody serves God. Everybody believes that, it will happen to them. However, what are you doing to make sure it doesn't happen to you? That is why we are here today. So why the family? Now, we've talked about how these illnesses, they are ravaging the world. They are on the increase. Last week was World Kidney Day, and the statistics is that 20 million people right now in Nigeria live with kidney disease of some sort. Imagine that. That is 10% of the population. It means that 1 in 10 people, if you see 10 people now, 1 person among them has kidney disease, whether they know it or not. That is serious. We have hypertension on the increase. People that have hypertension are so many. They might not even know it. Diabetes is everywhere, right? So why the family? Because in this society that is sick, the family is the basic unit of society. The family is the smallest unit of society. Everybody comes from a family. Everybody. So if society is sick, it means that the families are sick. Because it's human beings that are sick in society. It's not animals, right? So if the society is sick, it's people. And these people belong to families. And the family is the smallest unit. That means if you want to get something done, go to the cause, go to the root. Why is the family the root? Because nutrition, what people eat, it has been proven to be the leading cause of the illness in the world today. They are called lifestyle diseases for a reason, because they are caused by lifestyle. Where are lifestyles learned? At home. What kind of food will you eat? Food you learned how to eat at home. Will you exercise if you don't see your parents doing it? You might not think it's a big deal until you become an adult. So family is the basic unit of society. Habits are learned, they are taught in the family. You agree with me that your mother taught you stuff. You are also teaching your children every single day, both with your words, your actions. You're teaching them. So if the society is sick, it means that the families are sick. And if everybody eats from their house, if people learn habits from their house, and what people are eating is causing them sickness, where should we go and look? Is where? Family. That is why we are here to discuss family. I hope we are making sense, and I know we're making sense, and I hope that you get me, that you're flowing with me. I wish I could see the chat. I would have said, well, if you are with me, just drop family in the comments. Still go ahead and do it. I know Mr. Akpemana will tell me that you're dropping that you're writing that. Say family, right? Just type family in the comment section so I know that you're with me, right? So this is why we are talking about the family today. So what is the role of a woman? We know, we are women, we know ourselves. We know that our families revolve around us. We know. Yes, I'm seeing the comments. Thank you so much, Mr. Manuel. I'm seeing family. Yes, thank you so much. Miss Ogamba, thank you so much. Yes, so family, I'm seeing people dropping family. So, women, our families revolve around us. We basically, to be honest, dictate how the flow of things in our homes. Even if you're not the one doing the cooking, the cook or whoever cooks answers to you. They defer to you. They defer to your decisions. The way your kids spend more time with you than with anybody else, in most cases anyway, but at least you are in charge of their food one way or another. You agree with me, that a mother sets the tone for the home. And, no matter how things are changing, that will remain constant. So it means that if you are in charge of what your children are eating, if you're in charge of what your husband is eating, then even if you're not the one cooking it, I think you should know the right things to cook, right? I believe that I think that you agree with me that you are in the better position to understand this. And of course, to see the training for men, but you should understand that because your family revolves around you, most times what you want is what happens in that environment. What you want them to eat is what they'll eat. I know my mother will always say, what I cook is what you eat. You understand? Like all this headache you want to give me, that's your business. It's what I cook that you eat. So we know that what we cook is what everybody will eat. They might say today, oh, I want gari, I want this one, I want that, and you go ahead and cook it, or you get someone to cook it and all of that. But when you want things to go well, you know what to do. So that is why the woman is important. In fact, we know we are important, but that's why we're important for this particular discussion, so that I can highlight to you and show you how important it is that you take control, that you take charge, that you acquire the knowledge you need for your family to live a healthy life. Because if people are dependent on you for sustenance, it means that the quality of what they eat, the quality of life that they have, is largely dependent on you. And I'm happy that you are here. To be honest, I mean, Every single one of you that's here, I need to commend you for taking the time and for paying to be in this class. It means that you want your family to be healthy, and you're taking actions to make it happen. And I really want to commend you for that. So that is why I'm really happy that we're here. So I can show you what you need to do for your family to be healthy. Mr. Bailey already talked about the spices. So I'm trying to rush, so that because we don't have a lot of time. Like I said earlier, I have my notes here so that I don't forget anything. So, we're the ones in charge, and so we need to make sure that things go well. Talked about the spices earlier, and we've seen how our spices, how what we've been using as spices can actually be contributing to diseases, and that is the truth. I was telling some families today during the outreach, I said, look, that Maggie that you're using is causing problems, and I tried to educate them about it, and they were shocked. People are shocked. People don't know, but you're here because you want to know, and I'm really happy. So let's start with guidelines. What are the guidelines? So I'll talk about the guidelines for food, guidelines for exercise, then I'll give recommendations for each, right? So that it can help you. So the guidelines, number one, for food is the summary of it is a quote by a man called Michael Pollan. Please, this quote, if you can remember it, I'll be very happy. And I know that it's going to help you a lot. He said, eat food, right? Not so much, mostly plants. Eat food. Eat food, not so much, mostly plants. Eat food, not so much, mostly plants. Now let me break this down. What does it mean, or what does it mean by eat food? Eat real food. Real food, not junk, not ultra processed. He even said if your grandmother does not call it food, you should not eat it a lot. So the kind of food that your grandmother would say, what's that one? Or what are you even eating? Something is not very correct with it, right? So eat real food as natural as possible. So in our environment, we are blessed. See, let me tell you, we are blessed with our natural food. We have our yam, we have eba, we have amala, we have fufu, we have vegetables, different types. We have local rice, have ofada rice. We have so much, yet we will leave it and go and be eating basmati rice. We will leave it and go and be eating white rice, be eating semo, be eating what are all those our foods? Meat pie, snacks, pizza. Now, I'm not saying those things are bad. Please let us get it right. I'm not saying don't eat them at all. What I'm saying is in moderation. Let your majority of your food be real food, as local as possible. No problem. Look, eat more of the natural foods. Eat yam, eat ofada rice, eat local rice, eat soup, eba, fufu. I did not call semo, as you can see. I did not call semo. I did not call wheat. You see, but there's some foods that are so healthy for you. Let us learn to focus on our natural food. So the man said, eat food, real food, right? These our natural foods have not been ultra processed. I heard Mr. Bello also mention about ultra processed foods. It is extremely important. Why is it very important? Apart from the fact that most ultra processed foods are packed with preservatives and other additives that are very dangerous for the body and can cause cancer, beyond that, fiber in foods are usually removed during processing. So fiber is usually the part of the food that is rough. Let me give you an example of fiber. So if you see when you are making let me say yam now, right? If you grate yam and you sieve it, there's something that comes out, like something that you would usually like chaff, how you call it chaff. That's fiber, right? So plant foods, natural foods contain fiber. Fruit, vegetable, yam, ofada rice, all those things. In fact, every white rice began as brown rice. So, but during processing, they now remove all the fiber, and then it's the inside that you see that is now white and fine, so that it can last longer and they can make more money, so they sell it. But that fiber that is being stripped out of our natural foods is the cocoa. That's where the nutrients are. That part is being stripped out, has vitamins, it has minerals, it has fiber. Now, fiber can help to control blood pressure. Fiber can help to lower cholesterol. Fiber can help to control blood sugar. Fiber helps to prevent constipation and ease constipation when it happens. Fiber can help to prevent cancer of the intestine. Fiber is amazing. It is completely amazing. And in the world today, we are not eating enough fiber. In fact, it has become a matter of emergency, a matter of urgency that they're announcing it. Eat more fiber. Eat more fiber, because our ultra-processed foods have been stripped of fiber, this important fiber. And that is one of the major reasons we are having these problems you are seeing all over the world. So it means that when you're serving your children semo, when you're giving, instead of Gary, think that you're being tush, you are poisoning them. I'm telling you, I didn't say don't eat semo at all, but it should not become the staple in your house. When you have eba, when you have fufu, when you have yam, don't focus on eating instant oats, Quaker oats. Please go and look for old-fashioned oats. It cooks for longer because there's still fiber inside. It's not instant. It takes you some time to cook it. You might even need to soak it for a while before you cook it. Look for, please write down the name, old-fashioned oats or steel cut. Steel, like stainless steel cut. It's in the supermarket. Go and look for it. Stop buying instant oats. It's ultra-processed. And why it is instant is because all the fiber has been stripped off. Kids also have blood sugar problems. You as an adult, don't think you're eating healthy by eating instant oats. It is important that we eat real foods as natural as possible. Right? So the next point is, so of course, fruits, vegetables, even eggs, meats, but the meat, you have to reduce your red meat intake, right? But chicken is good, fish is good, even red meat is okay, but just reduce the intake. And for adults, lean towards fish and chicken, right? And eat mushrooms. Get it from a very good source, so you don't go and buy rubbish. Buy these things and eat them. So the next point in this man's quote is not so much. Portion control is key. See, that your children eat from morning till night does not mean that you're rich. That your husband comes home and he eats 2 or 3 wraps of fufu does not mean that he's doing well. There's something that happens in Africa when a person gets married. They expect you to start adding weight. I don't know why. It makes no sense. You see a married man, most married men start having pot belly. And then you see the wife saying, you have to eat more so people will know I'm cooking well. We are all guilty of this thing. You know what I'm saying. You want your husband to start adding weight after he marries you so that other people think that he's, that you're doing well. My dear sister, belly fat and doesn't help anybody. It even puts your husband and even yourself at risk of disease. Because I remember when I was gaining some weight, they told me that I was looking like a woman that just got married. And I'm like, wow, you don't mean it. So women that just got married get fat, right? So when these things begin, this is like a notion. People believe that that's the way it's supposed to be, but it's not correct. Excess fats, especially abdominal fat, that pot belly your husband is having, that pot belly that you are having, that extra fat you're having, is not a sign of good living. It's called pot belly of disease. It puts you at risk of heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, and so many things. So that fat that is developing after marriage should not be so. Let us change our mindset. It's important that we know these things. So portion control is important. Somebody cannot skip breakfast, maybe eat anything outside at home, and then come back in the night and sit down. And then you now want to give him all the food he did not eat from morning till night for him to eat that night. You not eat it and I say, oh, my wife, you can cook. Things are happening in Africa. See, my sisters, that's not the way. Oh, extreme. See, even healthy food, you can eat too much of healthy food. You can eat too much of a good thing. Yes, even good things have limits. Moderation is key. So portion control for everybody, including children. And I'll show you a very easy way to do portion control so that it's not as if you're starving your children or your family and they're eating small and then they're hungry. No, I'll show you a very easy way when I'm talking about recommendations. So portion control, just have it in your mind that portion control is important, that people cannot eat until they fell from heaven. When we are younger, we had these family friends that came for holiday, Jesus Christ. They came for holiday and they ate us out of, they ate the hell out of us. Forgive me for saying hell, but these people, they could eat so much. It was amazing. how much they could eat. And they tell you, my children can really eat, or other people's children cannot, my own children can eat. Portion control for everybody is important, because blood sugar, hypertension, obesity, they are no longer disease of the elderly. They are now affecting even the children. They are affecting our husbands. Today, I saw patients at the outreach today, 41 newly married men with small children like this, sick, hypertension, blood sugar. And I'm like, my God. Women, the same thing. So I'm not talking about just your family, I'm talking about even you, because women tend to put themselves last. Women tend to put everybody else above them, right? And then you sacrifice yourself. No, please also put yourself first. Take care of yourself, eat right, be healthy for yourself. You don't need to manage diabetes, you don't need to manage hypertension. Do what you need to do for the entire family, and you are part of that family. So everybody has to be healthy, everybody, right? So the next point is mostly plants. I already mentioned this earlier, reduce meat intake, Let us start, of course, eat meat, but just reduce the intake. In this part of the world, we see meat as an achievement. And I'm not even dissing you. I used to be like that. They used to call me carnivore at home, or cannibal, or anything they used to call me, carnivore. That was my nickname then, because I used to eat meat a lot. A lot. It was when, in fact, even as a doctor, I was eating meat until I fell from heaven. It was when I started studying lifestyle medicine that my brain reset. So I don't want you to fall into that category. Meat, excess red meat especially, has been linked to so many diseases, like so many, including cancers, heart disease. Please reduce meat intake in your house. Also tell your husband that eating multiple meats, it doesn't mean he's the head of the home. You know what I'm talking about. Dishing so much meat in the food does not mean that he's doing well as the head of the home. It actually means that there might be a problem, that he might put himself at risk. So also educate him. And when we have the program for men, I hope we can also educate the men that they should not demand for so much meat in their food. And we as women don't have to feed our men with so much meat, and we also don't have to eat so much meat as adults, because we don't need it. There are other things for us to do. Sorry, our light just went. Well, we're in Nigeria, so reduce meat, focus on eating a lot of plants. And the good thing is that plants are actually the only source of fiber. I already mentioned how amazing fiber is, right, for our body. So imagine that plant foods are the only source of fiber. So what are these sources of fiber? Foods that are as natural as possible, as untouched or as unprocessed as possible. Yam, ofada rice, local rice, eba, fufu, fruits, vegetables, okwa. What are all those things? Millets. Our natural foods, the foods that we grew up with, eforiro, all these things, they contain fiber. See, beans is an amazing food. Talk about beans as when we get to recommendations. So that is the breakdown of that man's foods. Remember, eat food, not so much, mostly plants, please. And when it comes to order of priority, when it comes to animals, remember that fish is very good, seafood, very good. Then chicken, mostly without the skin, anyway, for adults, very good. So we need to inculcate this habit also in our children, so that you don't think, oh, me and husband will eat differently, my children will eat differently. No, children learn by actions. So bring them into it. Let it become a family thing, so the children can also be healthy, starting from their childhood into adulthood, and then they'll also learn from the home. And then even as adults, they won't start trying to adjust after they've gotten sick. They live healthy lives going forward. So let me talk about recommendations for diet. For talk about the exercise. Number one, increase fiber. I mean, I've talked about fiber a lot here, right? So increase eating foods that contain fiber. Eat vegetable with all your meals. Yes, try your best, right? Let me give you, oh, our light is back, thank God. So let me give you statistics of, or let me give you a recommendation of how you can get fiber into your meal every day. Number one, make sure that the carbohydrate you're eating, is as unprocessed as possible. I already talked about that. They contain fiber. Then secondly, try to add vegetable to most of your meals, at least, even if at all. Let me give you an example. If you're eating rice, for instance, aim to have vegetable as double of the rice. Yes. So people say I'm eating vegetable, then they use 1 spoon of vegetable. That's not enough. If you're eating 1 spoon of rice, for instance, put 2 spoons of vegetable to that food. It can be salad, with minimal cream. It can be salad. It can be green vegetable. Double of the rice. Yes, right. That way, you're doing portion control without even knowing you're doing portion control. Vegetables are heavy; they will fill you up, but they contain almost no calories. So you're not going to get fat from eating vegetables, and they are packed full of nutrients for the heart, for every part of your body. I already talked about what fiber can do. Vegetables contain more than just fiber. They have vitamins, they have minerals, they can boost your immune system. And then when you focus on eating a lot of vegetables, you will not eat too much of the other kinds of food in your food. So let me say if you have rice and vegetable, and the vegetable is more than the rice, you find out that you've already reduced how much rice you're eating automatically. So that's already portion control without actually counting calories. I mean, it's genius. Just add more vegetable to your meals and you find yourself eating less rice, less carbohydrates. Less carbohydrate is very good for you, it's your energy source, but you need to eat it in minimal quantity, in moderation, so that you don't get fat. Because when you eat too much carbohydrate, it's stored as fat. The body takes what it needs and then you store the rest as fat, right? So when you add vegetables to your food, what happens? You will be eating less of carbohydrate automatically. It just happens because the vegetable will fill you up. You understand? So it makes total sense. So bring in more vegetables into your food, and automatically you'll be crowding out other kinds of foods because you'll be full on vegetables that the other ones will not be smaller. That is the easiest way for you to do portion control without actually doing portion control. And if your kids do not like vegetable, I'll tell you what my mom did for me. When I was growing up, I did not like vegetable at all. But my mother started telling me the benefit of vegetable and how it will make me strong and I'll grow up to be beautiful. I think I tried. I mean, she was right. So she told me that I'll grow up beautiful, I'll grow up smart, I'll grow up healthy. She told me the benefits. And because of that, I accepted vegetable as a child. So we underestimate our kids. Kids are not stupid. They're actually very smart. So talk to them, those who don't like vegetable, talk to them about it, tell them, this will help you to make you to grow stronger, make you to grow wiser, things like that. And let them see you eat it. So don't give them and then you not gonna eat bread. Bread is also very, very processed. So reduce your bread intake. That one you will not, I know you don't like that one, but please reduce your bread intake, cut it down, cut it down. So add more vegetables to your food, salad, green vegetables, green peas, onions. Add more of those things to your food, right? So add more fiber to your food and eat foods that contain fiber. I already talked about yam, and all those other local foods that are very high in fiber. So bring those into your meal. Number 2, increase your beans intake. Some of you might not like beans, but I can assure you, see, beans is a super food. Beans is real. Beans, I read a research one time, and they said if you're eating a lot of beans, you can hardly have heart disease. I'm telling you, see, try to bring beans into your food like 4 times a week. If your family people don't like beans, try to educate them. Beans is king. Beans is king. I'm telling you. So what you can do to reduce the pain in the stomach people feel, parboil the beans before you cook it. So remove the first water because that it also disturbs me. So I usually remove, a parboil.
Okay, I think we lost Dr. Marvelous, but she will reconnect very soon. She will reconnect very soon. So you also done a bit. She will come back very soon and continue. I hope we are gaining a lot from what that is being said tonight. The reason why, yes, okay. Yeah, I think I'm loud enough. Can you hear me? Okay, yes, Dr. Marvelous went off, but she'll be back very soon. She'll be back. She'll, she'll be back very soon. So just hold on. I hope we are benefiting a lot from all that is being said. This is the reason why we organize this training. And we didn't just want it to be for everybody. We wanted it to be for people who are serious, not just everybody. So those who are committed, who want to do well, who wants to build a healthy family, they are the ones we are targeting. When people ask me questions about the training, I just see that they are not the target audience. They are not the target audience. So we want people who are ready, people who are willing to actually take um, uh, take adequate care and take seriously the health of their family. So those are the people that we are targeting, and we're happy that we got them here. It's not about the number, it's not about anything. It's about people who are willing to change one family at a time. So let me just send Dr. Marvelous a message. So whatever you are being taught here, please take it very serious. It's one thing to get knowledge, it's another thing to practicalize what we have learned. A lot of us are making uh, some unforgivable errors in terms of food, what we are feeding our families. I was saying somewhere in Kaduna that it is possible for you to feed your child to the point that your child start having adult diseases, and you do it ignorantly. You are not really aware that what you are doing is causing serious problems for your child. So it's when you get the knowledge that you can actually begin to see what you are doing and begin to correct it. So when you start correcting it, everything starts working out the way it's supposed to be. So that is the reason why we organize this training. Dr. Marvelous is trying to join us. I know that she will soon connect with us because we really need to get the things that she's teaching. We really need to get them. Um, it's not it's not easy to manage sickness. It's not easy to carry someone who is sick and keep carrying the person about. People tend to be shocked and surprised when they are told that they have either cancer or liver failure or diabetes. In fact, in the past 1 week, I've attended to two critical emergency cases. One of them had a kidney failure. The kidney was already failing, and he was taking agbo. He was taking agbo despite the fact that the kidney was failing. He was taking agbo. So it was one of his oga that called me and said, please come and run some tests on this guy. And when we did that, we discovered that the kidney was totally gone. Right now, he's in the hospital. They are trying to see how they can help him medically. The other case was someone who was just shouting of pain, maybe something like ulcer pain, was feeling very weak, could not breathe very well, and went to run some tests on her. And we discovered that she was diabetic. In fact, her sugar level was about 39.4 millimole per liter. And the normal range is supposed to be something within the range of 4.2 to 6.4. But look at what we got just because she was not aware. So, Dr. Marvelous, welcome back. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you. I'm so sorry. I apologize for that. That came from my end.
Okay. So you can start continue from where you start.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, sir. And I apologize to everyone for that break translation. So I was talking about increased fiber in your meal, how you should increase eating beans. I know you might not like beans, but try your best. For those who love beans, well done. For those who do not like beans, try to make it in such a way that you might like it. Add orishirishi.
I remember one of the things my mother did to make us like beans when we were growing up was to add fish. My mother used to add fish to our beans, add fresh tomatoes, add vegetables and all of that, to our beans. And that was when we started liking beans, and it became like our favorite food for everybody in my family. So you can try that method if your kids do not like it. Just try. The other beans, other foods are in the beans family also. We have different types of beans anyway, so you can get any kind of beans. And there's also lentils. They also belong in the beans family, so you can also try those out. So increase fiber, and then beans also contains fiber. So win-win. Beans is both has protein, beans has fiber, right? So increase that in your food. So cut down on ultra processed foods. I already mentioned this. Cut down on foods that have been through too much packaging, too much processing. If you cannot think of how this food came into your hands, if you cannot think of all the processes that this food went through to get to you, so then reduce eating it. Of course, your family, you can take them out for pizza once in a while, you can buy them ice cream once in a while. My point is this: reduce it. Don't let your kids get too used to pizza all the time. Every Sunday is pizza day. Please don't do that to your kids. Every Sunday should not be pizza day, right? So there are other ways to make them happy. Find those ways. Make healthy meals. Eat together as a family. These things help, right? Bring fun that does not have to always do with food. Let them not always associate fun with food alone. There are other things. You can play games. Make your family fun. Everything is not food, right? Because there's a part of food many people do not pay attention to, the psychology of food. Some people become addicted to food, that food dictates their emotions. When they are sad, they are eating. Whenever they are happy, they are eating. Heartbreak, food. Everything, food. These things start from childhood, when it's always a relationship between food and mood made by the parents. These kids grow up thinking that food is cure for everything, and it can lead to obesity and other things. So let's also think about that. So cut down on ultra processed foods. Capri Sun and biscuit is not good snacks. Try and pack lunch for the kids going to school. Try and pack lunch for yourself as you're going to work or to your shop. Pack food. Take also for your husband, to whoever is cooking, whether it's you, whether it's the chef, whether it's your husband. Let anybody live in the house pack, get go home, go with cooked food, right? So I already said increase fiber in your food, increase beans intake, reduce ultra processed foods. Say children need sugar. I've had that thing a lot, and it amazes me. Of course, children need sugar, but do you know that when you eat yam, rice, beans, all these things, they are broken down into sugar. So your kids are already getting sugar. Trust me. They don't need extra sugar. They don't need while or not at all if you want. Right? So freshly squeezed juice is good, but even that one must be in moderation, because even that one has sugar. Even though yes, fruit sugar is better than the refined sugar, but it's still sugar. And you don't want your kids taking so much of it. So once in a while, all these things, tiger nut drink is better, is natural. Zobo with pineapple, these are natural things, but even them be taken in moderation. So teach your kids to love water. Everything in moderation. Teach your kids to love water by you drinking it, by you offering it to them. Don't say he does not like water, he likes juice. Don't do that, please. Right? And then when it comes to the adults in your home, the same thing. We need to drink as much water as we can. It is the risk, it's one of the major risks of kidney disease. Dehydration, not taking enough water. Your kidney needs water. So you drink water, your husband should drink water, your kids should drink water. Everybody eat more fiber, eat more beans, reduce ultra processed food, reduce alcohol for the adults. Talk to your family members that are adults, your husband, you yourself, if you like, I know women shark. Reduce some of these things. Reduce them. Remove, eat eba, eat amala, eat pounded yam, but see that semo. reduce semo, I'm telling you, right? So I already talked about instant oats. Leave instant oats, go for other kinds of oats, steel cut oats, old-fashioned oats. Those ones are not as processed as steel as the other one that is instant oats. So as much as possible to go for more natural stuff. Seriously reduce ultra processed food. I think I've talked about that one enough. So eat our local foods. I've said that one also. So add vegetables to every meal. I already mentioned that. So what else? Okay, as much as you can, eat dinner together, eat food together as a family, eat lunch together as a family. I know you're working, so when kids come back from work, if you're at home, try to eat with them at the same time that they're eating, right? It helps to form the bond. And then when your husband is also home, you all try to eat together as much as you can. These things help your mind. It also helps to reduce even blood pressure. So having family time has been proven to help adults and even children. For children, it helps them to grow better, to grow stronger, to grow smarter. It also helps them to become more well-adjusted adults when they eventually grow. And then for you and your husband, it helps your blood pressure, it helps your blood sugar. Trust me, eating together helps a lot. And then when you together, it can also help you to see what people are eating, right? It can help you to monitor what people are eating. You can see what they are doing. So it gives you a good handle on what is going on in your house. Another recommendation is as much as possible, eat home cooked meals. I already mentioned that anybody leaving your home should go out with food. It's important so that you can monitor what they are eating. Talk about Maggi now. If people going out from your house do not go with food, including yourself, won't you go and eat all the Maggi food outside? You will. So go when you cook something at home and they pack it, you pack your own. The husband packs his own, you pack for him, and your kids you pack for them, and they go to school or go to work, and everybody goes out with food. They come back again, eat food cooked at home. You're in better control of what is entering into your family member's body. Because the truth is that if one of you is sick, everybody is sick. Illness does not affect only one person; it affects the entire family. One of the problem of chronic illness, which I've studied a lot about, is its impact on the finances of the family. If a member of the family is sick, now everybody is affected. You need money. You use money that you should have used to do other things to treat sickness. You use money that you should have used to build a house, to service a kidney that is failing. So please, if preventing and not just preventing in case of sickness, for health sake, even our finances, this can be the devourer you've been praying against. Illnesses are devourers, they take all your money, right? So let's try to be more careful with what people in our families eat. Then what else? Sorry, I thought I had a notice. I want to be sure that I have all the points I wrote down for you. Cooked meals are the best. You're sure of what you're eating is more nutritious, and all of that. Then to help you, right, if you're the one cooking or your chef is cooking, shop a lot, cook and freeze. That's how I do, and that's how I think you should do also. One thing that we do a lot is, I like beans. So you can buy beans, plenty beans, remove all the chaff and everything, cook the beans and store it. I usually store white beans and then porridge beans. So I can add the white beans to anything I'm eating. I can add it to yam, with vegetable. I can add it to rice with vegetable, or I can eat it with stew and vegetable, anything, right? And porridge beans also, you can also add vegetable to eat. So steam beans, steam vegetables, freeze them, and then other foods that you want to cook. I let's tell everybody, buy a lot of vegetable in the market and make it into a sauce. Half done with crayfish, with onions, and freeze it. So that way you don't need to be boiling vegetable every time that somebody wants to eat. So you just bring it out, warm it, and add it to meals. So make sure you always have beans frozen, vegetable frozen, add it to meals, and then of course cook other things like stew, soup, and also freeze them. So that way you're not under stress. And the truth is this: if the healthy food is available, you eat them. If they're not available, you eat nonsense. So imagine if you come back from work now and you're very hungry and you just saw bread there. You eat the bread first, right? I'm not saying don't eat bread, though. I'm saying eat bread in very small quantities and not all the time. Bread is why many women have big belly. Bread. You know you like bread. You know me and you we know we like bread. So bread is why many of us have big belly. So please reduce bread. Thank you. So make sure that there's always food at home. There's always healthy food at home. Buy fruits, cucumber, carrots, fruits in season so it's cheaper for you. Any fruit in season is cheap, you know. So buy the fruit that is in season. Buy also cucumber, carrots. Keep them in the fridge. Keep them where people can see them, so that your children, you yourself, your husband, as their fast foods to eat. So encourage water and healthy drinks. But remember, water is the best. Even healthy drink must be taken in moderation. Serve food in small portions. I already mentioned it. So when you serve small portion of food, use vegetable and do what? Add it so that everybody can be full. Use vegetable to fill up everybody's stomach, right? That is the easiest way to do portion control without counting calories. So do more boiling, boil more, do more boiled yam than fried yam. Reduce what you fry. If you can get an air fryer, please get an air fryer. People have said that air fryers are not very healthy, but I've done some research, and to be honest, I don't really see them as being unhealthy. So you can use air fryers, you can use grill, but make sure that the food doesn't get burnt. You can use your oven, right? So reduce frying by a lot. So what you can boil, boil. Boiling still remains, excuse me, boil and steaming still remain the best ways of cooking food. So do not force your kids to eat all the food on the plate. Many parents do that. They'll tell you, don't remain any food there. Oh. Please don't do that. If they are full, they should go and drop their plates. Don't force your kids to eat all the food on the plate. It tampers with them, and many kids end up with problem. They must eat. Even somebody gives them a lot of food, habits are formed at home. Remember, so you can make your child become somebody who will be eating so much even as an adult, because he believes that he must eat everything on the plate, and he or she will no longer watch hunger cues. I'm hungry, I'm full. That's not it again. Mommy said finish all the food on the plate. So let us not do that. If they're full, they should go and drop it. If they eat and they're still hungry, they should come and eat. So let it always be about the hunger pants. Let it be about hunger, so that these things mess with the brain. That's an entire discussion, but let us be careful with some of those things. So when your children do something right, don't reward good behavior with food. That's also important, so that your children don't believe that food is a reward. So I've done this, I should go and eat. Sometimes that is what leads to obesity, right? So when children start associating too much emotion with food, I've done right, food is my reward. If some of these things can cause issues in future. So reward them with praises, with compliments, with other things you have in mind, just not food. Lastly, focus on eating a healthy breakfast. Feeding your children or husband or yourself with cereal in the morning is not the way to start your day when you have a passion for children and obesity. And I believe that whatever you're learning will, of course, be for the entire family. But I'm saying this because most times when we teach healthy living, parents do their own and still leave the kids to be eating anyhow. They feel that they are kids. Please no. Let your kids eat good food just as you are eating. So what was I saying? So eat healthy breakfast. What was this nonsense that parents give their children? Frosties. Stop giving your children frosties as breakfast. That's not good breakfast. Give them food to eat. Give them rice and vegetable. Give them beans. Give them yam. Give them yam and egg sauce. Give them food to eat. Let your family eat breakfast, and it's good for everybody in the family to eat breakfast before they leave. And even if you cannot, of course, pack it. Maybe your husband and yourself, you're rushing to work, pack the food, but make sure you eat once you get to work. Eat breakfast. Breakfast is good for you. Science has proven that if you do not eat breakfast, you're more likely to be munching on snacks and all that throughout the day. It messes with your body. So you're more likely to add weight if you don't eat breakfast. So don't think that you're going to lose weight if you don't eat breakfast. It's the other way around. So eat breakfast, eat healthy breakfast, rich in fiber, rich in protein. It also keep you full for longer, so you don't eat up and down, up and down, up and down throughout the day and end up gaining weight. The same thing for every member of the family. High protein, high fiber breakfast is key. Now, also remember to follow handles on Instagram, on YouTube that teach the correct thing, not your influencers. Many people talk nonsense. They'll tell you that they're starving, they're eating 1,200 calories a day. What do you mean by that? That's nonsense. Follow people that know what they're saying. Learn. There are people who are teaching, like me now, right? I teach very good stuff on Instagram, but I'm not the only one. There are other people that teach very correct stuff on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow them, so that every day you're learning something new to add, to give your family or to use for your family. And then also there are some kid nutritionists. You can search for them on Instagram. Kid nutritionists, right? Some of them, they can help you, they can teach you. Follow pediatricians on Instagram. Follow doctors, follow health professionals on Instagram. Follow nutritionists, follow dietitians, follow medical people. Don't use your data to be watching gist view or watching this one happen, that person's investment, this thing happen. That's not what you came here to do. Use that same data to reach out to follow people who will impact your life positively. You might hear something one day that will change your life forever. Trust me, I've been there, I know. So use your time wisely. So that's all for diet, unless you have questions later. So let's quickly run through exercise in 5 minutes. Exercise is for everybody. Husband, wife, children. Everybody needs to move their body. So what are the scientific guidelines? Number one, adults need to have a minimum of 150 minutes of moderate exercise in a week. What does this mean broken down? 30 minutes for 5 days in a week. You can jog, you can walk, brisk walking, yes, that's exercise. You don't have to go to the gym for exercise. You can dance for 30 minutes. You can break it down, right? 15 minutes, 15 minutes. You can walk, you can dance, you can skip, you can cycle. Just move your body. You and your husband can take a stroll. It's love things, it's romantic. Take a stroll in the evening. In my estate here, every morning and evening, I see couples taking a walk. You can do that with your husband. Now, for your children need 1 hour of exercise, 1 good hour every day. That's what is recommended. So encourage them to play. All this too much of book. Your children will go to school in the morning, they'll come back with homework, they're tired, they will do homework, then they will not go straight and start watching TV. After that, they will sleep. It's not doing them any good. Your children need to play. Even their brain needs them to play for it to be more active. I'm not saying overplay, but I'm saying let there be a balance. Allow these children to play. If they're in a place where they can go out to play, let them go out, or in the veranda or in the compound, but the children need to play. And then find out if you're getting enough play at school. Many schools don't have a long break time anymore, the way we had when we were kids. But your children need 1 hour of play. That is their own exercise. So if they're not getting enough, you can take them on your walk. Children like to walk. Tell them, let everybody wear your shoe, buy them running shoes, right? Tell them, let's go for a walk. You walk around your neighborhood if it's conducive, with your husband, with your children. It's beautiful. It even forms family time, but get the exercise in. Then you as an adult, you and your husband, increase movement throughout the day. Apart from the exercise, stop sitting down for too long. If you are in the office, after 1 hour, stand up and move around, stretch small, go and talk to your neighbor, go and drink water. If you're on the phone, stand up and pick the phone and move around. Get movement. That's why you're having so many issues, because you're not moving around. Stand up and move. Buy a smartwatch that will help you to count how many steps you have. 5,000 steps should be your goal. You can go more than that too. Tell your husband the same thing. Both of you should start to walk around. If you're going to go and buy things within your estate, don't drive, walk. If you ever carry your children and go, walk. Go and buy something and come back. Increase your steps. Right? So I've talked about the guideline and I'm talking about accommodation at the same time. So this is one thing that you can do to increase exercise in your home. You can put on the music, everybody come and start dancing. Everybody will dance together. You and your children, you play, you dance. It's beautiful. It's family time, but you're exercising. So bring some of all that, into your family time, and you'll find out that sickness will be far from you. Now, do something else. Start checking blood pressure and blood sugar. Take it very seriously. You and your husband, every 6 months, go and do full body tests, right? However, at least know your blood sugar every month. That's if you don't have high blood pressure or high blood sugar, but know it. I won't say 6 months for that one, because Nigerians are funny people. I say 6 months that you can do it once a year. No, do it regularly. It's free of charge. Go to your neighborhood pharmacy and tell them, please help me and check my blood pressure. Same thing for your husband. Check your blood sugar. Check your blood pressure. If there's any abnormality, see a doctor immediately. See somebody immediately. Don't wait until, God forbid, it does not work. Wait, go and do something about it. If your child is also on the big side, go and check their blood sugar and their blood pressure. Please take it from me. I've seen too much. If your child is big, the children that have adult body, carry them to go and check their blood sugar and their blood pressure. Please, it's extremely important that we all do this. And if there's any problem, never fail to see a doctor. Never fail to reach out. Please never keep quiet. If you notice something is not correct about your child, about your husband, never keep quiet. Women are very, very intuitive. Women, we see what people are not seeing. We feel things. Never, ever ignore your instincts. If you feel something, investigate and make sure. Let it be that you're wrong. It's better, right? But never bury your head in the sand. Never assume that all is well. Always make sure that all is well. Check until you're sure. So thank you so much for being here today. And if you have questions, please ask. Thank you, Mr. Emmanuel. Are you there, sir? Okay, I don't know if he's here. And let me see if I can check for questions and take questions. Okay, he's here now. Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me? He's with his network. So if anybody has questions, I'm available to answer them. I will answer your questions. So I think he's having network problems. So I'm checking my other phone to see if there are questions. So I hope that you all understood me. I couldn't see so many questions, so I think it's having network problems. Oh, I'm hearing myself. All right, so I cannot see any questions in the comment section. I don't know if I'm correct, but I cannot see any questions. So while we wait for Mr. Emmanuel to join us, okay, he's back. Is he back? No, he's not back. All right, so what will I tell you for free today? So let me tell you, for those who want to lose weight, right? I have a challenge for weight loss, and it's something that will benefit you if you want to lose weight, if you want your husband to lose weight, because extra weight around the belly
is something that can put you at risk of disease. And Mr. Emmanuel is back. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
So there's a question I want to just put it up so you can see. Mm. Can you see the question?
I saw a question, even though it just went off now, but I saw one that said,
Can you
what
see the
is the
question?
advantage of keto? Yes, I can see it, sir. Okay, so let me answer that question. I am not a fan of
Yes.
keto,
Okay.
and I don't hide it. I'm not a fan, right? So the idea of keto is, like I said during the program, carbohydrate is our main source of fuel. It's the main source of, when your body uses energy. That's the body gets energy from carbohydrate normally. However, if there is no carbohydrates at the moment, your body will use what we call ketones. So the idea of keto diet is to deprive the body of carbohydrates and to use the alternative, which is ketones. That's where the keto diet came from. So in this diet, people are deprived of carbohydrates. And when that happens, right, it can lead to weight loss. It can lead to blood sugar can drop because, of course, you're not eating a lot of carbohydrates. However, two things you must know in keto, in fact, three things is number one, the side effects. Some people react to keto diet, right? A lot of people can come down with, they call it keto fever, and people, in fact, many people have rashes and all of that, right? Then number two, keto is not sustainable long term. It is actually dangerous long term, right? So you might not be able, in fact, in some years, it might turn around to harm the person, to harm the organs. Then number three, you want to get on healthy diets that are actually sustainable, something that you can do without stress. Keto is stressful. Imagine not eating yam or rice. So imagine, I mean, what kind of stress? What is that? What are you trying to look for? You can eat normal foods and control blood sugar. You can eat normal foods and lose weight. So what are you doing keto for? You understand my point? So there's no point, there's no reason, you don't need it. Then lastly, many people that say that they're eating keto eat ultra processed foods in the name of keto. Keto cookies, keto this one, keto that one. You see, they're eating packet food up and down, things that have so much additive. Those things that they're adding has its own negative effect on the body. Those packaged foods, the extra butter, the extra oil, drinking oil. Hey. So please, I don't see any advantage in keto. And I've done extensive study on keto. In fact, you don't want to know what I've done on keto, just to prove, just to be sure that, because it makes no sense. So you don't need it. You can, whatever is your reason for looking at keto, you can achieve it while eating normal food and remaining healthy for the long term. Don't exchange your health for weight loss. Thank you. So, is that the only question, sir? Can you see any other question?
So yes.
Okay. What are the alternative healthy snacks for kids? All right. So, this one will take a lot of creativity from you.
The network is a little bit
Like I
shaky,
said,
but it will soon come up.
okay, sir. No, I've seen the question now. Can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay. So alternative healthy snacks for kids would take a lot of creativity from you, right? So remember, like I said earlier, that they can do freshly squeezed juice once in a while. They
Yes, I
can do
can.
tiger nuts. They can do
I can
zobo
hear
to
you.
replace. They can use they use to replace the Capri Sun, right? Those ones are also natural, so they're better. They're far
Yes,
better than
yes.
all this other
You
stuff,
can go ahead.
right? So okay, sir. So you can do that,
Yes.
right? So also,
Mm.
okay, so of course you can pack food for them, and then there are people who actually do healthy snacks. You might need to look for them. There are people who do oven baked plantain chips, which you can do by yourself anyway. That way it's not fried. Some people do healthy chin chin. Some people do healthy meat pie. I've seen that. They use different kind of flour, and even you, if you can bake, then I think that you start learning some of these things and start using healthy alternatives. Like I said, follow some handles you should follow. Follow Lagos Housewife. Of course, she'd not pay me or anything, but I want to tell you, follow Lagos Housewife on Instagram or Facebook. She knows how to do lunch food, alternative healthy snacks for children, and how to pack um, healthy lunch box for her son. So you can learn a lot from her. Then also there are people who sell. So you might have to look on Instagram. People who sell healthy snacks. So not everybody saying healthy snacks is actually healthy. So you have to check, based on what we talked about now, what you're looking for. So, but you can learn from Nigeria Housewife, and you can maybe start to make your own. You can make your own. But if you pack food for the child and give the child homemade baked plantain chips, that's fine. Once in a while, biscuits can come into place, but you can do that. Then if you can bake, you can start to introduce healthy ingredients. So if you go through what's her name, Lagos Housewives page, even on YouTube, she teaches all those stuff. Very healthy snacks. So you can follow her to learn more. Me, I'm not. That's not my area, but she's more into that, and she has it as a core specialty. So you can learn simple things that you can make and keep at home. She even has to make healthy bread, healthy wraps for food, a lot of stuff. So you can follow her and you can learn from her. So you can make them for your children, right? Or you can buy. I'll say make anyway, but there are people who make healthy snacks. So you can look for them. There's this handle that makes healthy snacks. I can't remember the handle anymore. Then there's this lady that sells snacks for children. Uh, Maybe I'll put it in the WhatsApp. I'll find the handle and I'll send it to the WhatsApp. I think that's okay. Mr. Manuel, can you hear me? I cannot hear you, sir. Are you muted? Okay, so I think Mr. Emmanuel is having a difficult time with his network today. So, and I don't think there are any more questions, but for the healthy snacks for kids, I'll try to get you some handles that maybe you can buy from
Yes.
or you
Can fruit
can,
replace the
follow.
banana?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can fruits be fruits like apple, banana, carrot? Can we use it to replace the
Exactly.
snacks?
Exactly. I even forgot to say that. Yes, fruits
Okay.
can be snacks. Apple, banana, carrot, fruit salad. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Those are also snacks. So everything must not be baked or fried, or fruits are very wonderful snacks for children. So imagine if you packed rice and beans, for instance, and vegetable for your son, and or your daughter and gave him or her an apple as snacks. That's snacks, so everything must not be fried or baked. So thank you so much for that. So that's a very good point.
Okay. So thank you very much for your session. I want to say that it's been a wonderful time. It's been a wonderful time. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate this opportunity to learn more. Every opportunity to learn is an opportunity to improve on what you already know and some of the things that we are not aware of. I can see some people saying that it's an eye opener. They've not seen teachings like this before. They've not heard of some of the things you mentioned. So we really want to appreciate you. Thank you, Ebele. Thank you, Dr. Marvi. Thank you
Thank
for this
you.
great opportunity. I'm sure that if they have more questions, they will drop it in the comments, and you can easily go through the comments and answer the ones you can. I believe that the teachings are straightforward, straight to the point, and there's no ambiguity in it. So it's easy for people to follow and understand. Thank you very much. Thank you
Thank
all,
you.
guys. I appreciate you. So tomorrow we are going to be looking at stress management, domestic stress management for women. We'll also be looking at some natural remedies that you can use in treating some simple stress induced diseases, and it's going to be a nice time. So I want to appreciate us for this night. If for those of you that will be joining us later, the video will be available both here and on YouTube. So once if you missed this lecture, you can easily um, go on YouTube and catch what is going on. Not on the general YouTube though, is private YouTube. So if you don't have the link, you cannot have access to the video. So once you make payment, if for those that have not paid, actually everyone here has paid, but for those that have not paid, I will join later and you are watching this video, um, the link will be available on YouTube. So thank you guys. Let me bring them once again so that they can say that they are thank yous.
Thank you, everyone. We
Yes,
appreciate you for being
yes,
here. We appreciate that you're interested in living more healthy, and we look forward to us having a holistic, sustainable food environment starting from the family. Thanks, everyone.
mm. Thank you so much. Dr. Marvi, your last word.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us and for staying to the end, even though we stayed so long. And I'm really happy that you've taken time to learn so that we all together can reduce the burden of chronic disease in Africa. From Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, also for having us here. And well done,
Thank
Madam
you.
Ebere.
Thank you, Dr. Marvelous. All right. Thank
All
you,
right, so good
Dr.
night,
Marvelous.
guys. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you very
Thank you,
much. See
everyone.
you guys tomorrow. Have a great night.
You
Thank you
too.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Love you
good night.
guys. Good
Bye.
night. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Please remember to ask your
Okay.
questions in the WhatsApp, and we're there to
Yes,
answer you.
exactly. Yes, we will be available to answer every of the questions.
Yes, and that reminds me to drop your comments, what you gained from the lecture, feedbacks on the WhatsApp group, so that other people can see it and be motivated too. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.